Welcome to The Explainer. I am so thrilled you're here with us today because we are tackling a massive and honestly mostly invisible problem. It's a problem that is quietly draining operational efficiency and just totally eating away at bottom line revenue across literally every industry. Think about it. Most businesses spend an incredible amount of time, energy, and budget on generating leads, right? We optimize ads, we tweak our SEO, we build these beautiful websites, but we completely overlook a absolutely crucial operational leak. What actually happens when a potential customer finally reaches out and they get absolutely no response? We're going to frame our entire time today around that hidden leak and, much more importantly, exactly how we can plug it.
So I really want you to pause for a second and think about this question. What is the true financial cost of a single missed inquiry? Like, what actually happens when a web message gets sent into the void, or an after-hours call just rings out, or a contact form sits entirely unread in some generic inbox? It is so incredibly easy to brush off a missed call as just a minor operational hiccup. I mean, the team is busy, right? Stuff happens. But what is the actual tangible financial cost of that single missed connection? Because guys, it's not just a missed message, it's a missed relationship.
Okay, let's dive into this. $1.2 million. I know, that number brings some serious shock value, but I promise you this isn't an exaggeration. Missing just 20 high-value leads a month can actually result in over $1 million in lost annual revenue. It's totally staggering when you sit down and look at the math behind it. The crazy part is, most organizations never even calculate these hidden losses because the opportunities simply never entered their pipeline in the first place. It's invisible. But let me tell you, invisible doesn't mean it isn't costing you dearly. Let's break down the spreadsheet logic here so you can actually see exactly how these invisible losses compound. Let's say your business misses just 5 inquiries a month, and the lifetime value of that customer is $1,000. Well, you're looking at a $60,000 annual loss right there. Double that to 10 misleads a month at a $2,500 value. Suddenly, you are bleeding $300,000 a year. And at the high end, 20 misleads at $5,000 apiece, that equals that massive $1.2 million deficit. The true cost of a missed inquiry isn't just the inquiry itself. It's the entire lifetime value of the real human being behind it. Now, what's really fascinating here is the psychology of the buyer's journey. Every single inquiry you get represents incredibly high intent. Just think about the journey they've already taken before they even hit submit. They've identified a problem, they've gone out and searched for a solution, they actually found your specific business, and they took the physical action to contact you. They are at the very bottom of the funnel. At this stage, they are dramatically closer to becoming a paying customer than just some random website visitor. When you fail to respond to that level of intent, you are essentially gift wrapping them and handing them directly to your competitor. To understand why this is happening so much lately, we have to look at the massive shift in buyer behavior. For decades, traditional methods worked totally fine. Receptionists, human sales teams, voicemail systems, manually checking email inboxes, that was totally acceptable when customers had slower expectations and way fewer options. But contrast that with today's buyers. They are researching online instantly. They literally have multiple browser tabs open, comparing multiple providers all at the exact same time. They expect immediate responses. The harsh reality of the digital economy is that today's buyers will almost always choose the very first company that actually engages with them. So let's look at the core pain points causing these misconnections. Like, why are we missing these leads in the first place? Well, for starters, prospects frequently browse websites during evenings, weekends, and holidays when traditional businesses are just closed. Then you have these basic contact forms that offer zero immediate follow-up, leaving prospects in this weird state of uncertainty. And let's be honest, owners and small teams are wearing a dozen hats, juggling sales, operations, customer service. They simply have a limited capacity, making rapid responses virtually impossible. Add a total lack of lead visibility to that mix, like untracked missed chats and abandoned inquiries, and you have a literal recipe for painful revenue gaps. Okay, so the absolutely crucial concept to grasp here is speed to lead. Sales experts consistently emphasize that the faster a prospect receives engagement, the exponentially more likely they are to convert. It really is a race. A delayed response doesn't just mean a later conversation. No, it instantly results in lost trust, lost momentum, and ultimately a completely lost opportunity. Responsiveness is no longer just a nice-to-have customer service perk. It is a vital competitive advantage that fundamentally shapes your brand perception. Section 1. AI-powered solutions, stopping the revenue leak. All right, so the problem is glaringly clear, the financial drain is massive, and buyer expectations have never been higher.
So let's pivot and look at the actual solution. I want to introduce AI-powered solutions to you, not as some futuristic sci-fi luxury, but as an immediate, practical, and essential operational fix. This is exactly where tools like TrioHUB's interactive AI avatars come in. These systems engage visitors immediately, 24/7. Let's break down the exact steps. First, they answer questions instantly. Second, they capture vital contact information. Third, they intelligently qualify those prospects based on your specific criteria. And fourth, they can even book appointments automatically, directly onto your calendar. These avatars are trained on your specific business knowledge, and they do all of this heavy lifting seamlessly while your human team is asleep, out for the weekend, or just busy serving other clients. And it goes beyond just avatars. We have AI chatbots that ensure absolutely zero visitors are ever left hanging. What makes these so powerful is that they aren't just generic, clunky bots. They actually learn from your website, your PDFs, your internal documents. They provide automated lead qualification, literally determining customer needs, budget, and purchase readiness before a human rep ever has to get involved. And crucially, all of this lead information automatically flows directly into your CRM. Whether you use HubSpot, Salesforce, ConnectWise, or Pipedrive, the data syncs instantly, allowing for incredibly fast tracking and follow-up.
Section 2, Real-World Results, Rapid-Fire Case Studies.
Now, I know what you might be thinking right about now. This sounds great in theory, but does it actually move the needle for normal, everyday businesses? Well, let's look at the proof to see how this technology is out in the field right now, generating real revenue. First up, a home services company. Their big problem? They were missing calls during evenings and weekends when homeowners were actually off work and looking for repairs. By implementing AI lead capture, they completely plugged that after-hours leak. The result? They significantly increased their booked appointments and grew their schedule. And the best part is, they did it all without having to hire a single extra weekend staff member or increase their payroll. Next, let's consider a marketing agency. Their prospects were literally waiting hours for responses, while the core team was tied up in client meetings or deep in creative work. So they added an AI chatbot specifically trained on their complex services and pricing tiers. This instantly eliminated the frustration of long response delays, which resulted in dramatically higher engagement. Plus, by the time the leads actually reached the human team, they were already perfectly qualified. And finally, a healthcare provider. Patients were constantly requesting information and appointment details outside of standard office hours, which was creating this massive, stressful backlog for the administrative staff every single morning. By implementing an AI assistant to handle those overnight requests as they came in, they drastically reduced that morning inquiry backlog. Not only did team efficiency skyrocket, but patient satisfaction improved immensely because people felt heard and helped instantly, no matter the hour. Now, it is absolutely crucial that we define what AI's role actually is here. Because look, there is always this underlying fear that AI is coming for everyone's job. Does AI replace the human sales team? No way. Absolutely not. AI's role is to assist. It empowers your team by taking over the grueling, repetitive, top-of-funnel tasks, the instant engagement, the initial data collection, the basic qualification. It basically does the heavy lifting up front so that your highly skilled human sales teams can step in and do what they do best, building real relationships and closing those qualified opportunities. Let's briefly address some common concerns that pop up surrounding AI deployment and lead capture. First, is every inquiry really valuable? Well, not every inquiry becomes a customer, but every inquiry represents an opportunity that could generate revenue. Can AI actually respond immediately? Yes, systems like TrioHUB operate continuously, 24/7. And can it collect precise information? Absolutely. It doesn't just grab a first name, it captures emails, phone numbers, business details, and custom fields tailored exactly to your specific operational needs. So, I want to leave you all with this final, provocative thought. The future outlook is crystal clear. Over the next decade, instant responses are not going to be some fancy competitive advantage. They are going to be the absolute default expectation of every single consumer. AI qualification will become standard practice. Organizations relying solely on manual inquiry management are going to face massive growing disadvantages. The businesses that respond the fastest will simply continue winning a larger and larger share of the available market. So I challenge you to ask yourself right now, will you modernize your response strategy and be the first to respond, or will you just let your competitors leave you behind? Thanks for diving into this explainer with me today, and I highly encourage you to go look at your own pipeline and see where those hidden leaks might be hiding.